What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. Here to talk to you about more Spider-Man news. This time, it's reported that Andrew Garfield has officially signed on to return as Spider-Man for future Marvel films, and this is really exciting. I think he's going to be returning specifically for the upcoming Secret Wars movie. It's not exactly confirmed that we're getting one, but with everything going on with the whole multiverse, especially when we got Multiverse of Madness and Doctor Strange, and the idea of the multiverse existing, I think it's fair to say that we're going to be getting an adaptation of the multiverse, at least an MCU version of it, and it's probably going to be inspired from the 2015 Secret Wars comic book event, where there was like multiple versions of like multiple superheroes, and it's gonna be insane. And I think Andrew Garfield really fits in this movie for a few reasons. And before I get into those details, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so y'all don't miss anything, especially if you're new to the channel. We do a lot of Marvel stuff here on the channel. We primarily talk about Spider-Man, of course, and we're also hyping up Marvel Spider-Man 2. So if that stuff is for you, definitely be sure to subscribe. It really supports the channel. So I have to say, you need to take everything that I talk about here with a huge grain of salt, because none of this can be officially confirmed, and this was not really announced by Marvel Studios or Sony themselves. But if you all recall, in one of my earlier videos, it's been said that Kevin Feige is going to be headlining, or at least co-producing, a lot of the future Sony films, since Morbius did bomb. And I think since Sony's going to be working adjacent, or at least working together with Marvel Studios, it's going to make sense for Andrew Garfield to be a part of this. So let's go ahead and read this article from giantfreakingrobot.com. And it says here that Andrew Garfield isn't done with Marvel just yet. After his instantly classic team up with Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire versions of Peter Parker in Spider-Man No Way Home, Garfield is coming back for more. Our trusted and proven source has confirmed the Oscar-nominated actor has signed a dotted line to come back for more Marvel flicks. The timing of this news could potentially say a lot about in what capacity Andrew Garfield returns to Marvel. Just last week, Kevin Feige all but confirmed what most Marvel Comics fans knew already, that the next big event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be based on the 2015-2016 Marvel Comics mega crossover, Secret Wars. Assuming the theatrical event is anything like the source material, it will require more alternate versions of established Marvel characters than ever. When Marvel Comics relaunched both Avengers and New Avengers in 2013, Jonathan Hickman wrote both titles, and he crafted a long-form story about the heroes facing something we heard talked about in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The Illuminati of Marvel Comics secretly began their protecting their reality against incursions. For example, instances of two timelines threatening to collide with one another, potentially destroying both. Ultimately, only the 616 reality remained, and finally, none at all. Then, with 2015 Secret Wars #1, Dr. Doom remade reality, with himself appointed the ruler of Battleworld, the only world in his new reality, and renamed himself God Doom, which is where the reunion of Andrew Garfield and Marvel comes in. In the comic book event Secret Wars, everything revolves around seemingly endless variants of established Marvel characters coexisting on the same world. For example, God Doom's law enforcement is handled by the Thor Corps, a huge group of variant Thors all working together. There are Thors already introduced in earlier comics like Throg, Beta Ray Bill, Red Norvell, and Aurora versions of Thor, etc. Then there are brand new ones like Gamora Thor and a Groot Thor who constantly says, "I am Thor." There is a savage realm of variant green, red, and gray skinned Hulks. There is a realm where the Marvel characters are all in Western settings, one filled zombified Marvel characters, and multiple realms based on X-Men dystopian stories like Days of Future Past, Age of Apocalypse, and Old Man Logan. It would actually practically be impossible for Marvel Studios to adapt Secret Wars at the same scale, but no matter how much of it they adapt, they will doubtless need way more variants than they've ever had in a single project, which is where Andrew Garfield returning to Marvel comes in. The event will need at least a few versions of Spider-Man, and having Garfield on board makes things a lot easier. And you know what? Just before I continue on with this video, I want to go back to the whole X-Men realms and the dystopian stories like Days of Future Past and Age of Apocalypse, and of course, especially Old Man Logan. And the reason why I want to mention this is because this presents a perfect opportunity to bring back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine Logan, but as the old version. Because if you really think about it, the 21st Century Fox X-Men films that we got are technically a different reality from the main MCU canon. And I think this presents definitely a perfect opportunity for him to return, not as a permanent Logan, but this will be a great reunion, at least for the character and of course of Hugh Jackman. And this will be great for the fans to enjoy, to see probably Hugh Jackman play the character at least one more time. before we get the new Logan Wolverine revealed to us. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to bring everything back together. The last time we saw Hugh Jackman play Wolverine was back in like 2017 when Logan came out, which is a phenomenal movie. If you have not seen it, definitely checking out the perfect solo Logan movie ever made. It's such a great movie, and the best part is that that movie doesn't really feel like an X-Men movie. This is really exciting. Past actors who've played characters from the past, beloved characters from the past, are returning once again, and I think Secret Wars is the perfect opportunity. We just wouldn't want to bring back Andrew Garfield for the sake of having him back and for nostalgia's sakes, but if it's really necessary and if the story requires it, it makes perfect sense for him to come back to at least in Secret Wars. And this is actually going to allow Sony and Disney to work together even more than ever. I mean, it even creates even more trust. As it is, Sony is going to be working very closely with Kevin Feige in future Sony Marvel movies. And this is just great news. And I hope maybe eventually they'll come to terms and they will be even lighter with the whole rules about using Spider-Man, and they will allow Spider-Man to cross over into the MCU a lot more frequently then, because they'll know that this is the right way to do it by the fans, and of course they're going to be making more money. So I mean, it's the perfect opportunity to do so. It's going to be really crazy, guys. We're going to be seeing a lot more variants more than ever, and I for one am super excited. So you let me know, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the main huge next Avengers / variant crossover is going to be Secret Wars? I'm thinking that as well, since Incursions was mentioned in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but it's already on Disney Plus, so there's no excuse for you not to have seen the movie. Definitely check it out. It's a great time, and it's a great Sam Raimi movie. I mean, Sam Raimi directed it. The guy is awesome. Anyways, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.